What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Breaking Bet here on this Wednesday, November 19th. Already in week 12 territory. This season's flying by. I got my guy Brad Thomas here as always. Brad, how quick is this season flying by, man?
Dude, it's feeling like it's flying by quick. And like what's crazy is it feels like I also have my games that I want back already, like as a Buccaneers fan, where it's like, man, can't believe we lost that game, or man, we really didn't show up for this game. But you don't get any redos, right? That's the great thing about the NFL is you don't get redos, man. You got to play every game because it seems like a lot of games, but in grand scheme of things, like it's not that many. It flies by.
Yeah, and it's definitely been moving pretty quick here. But since we're starting to get into that time, Brad, we're starting into that time of the playoff pictures crystallizing. By now, we pretty much know who's good or at least playoff
Yeah.
caliber, or who's bad, lotto pick bad. And, there's still a lot to be decided, a lot to be desired in both conferences in a lot of these divisional races. And week 12, we're almost through that 75% of the waypoint done by the end of this week. And what do you think that we're gonna learn by the end of week 12?
Man, it's a weird week, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of really close spreads, but also some that are like, man, is this like an absolute smash spot? I think we just learn which teams want it more, right? As we get deeper into the season, we're in November now. We're getting close to December. As we get deeper in the season, you're going to really start to see the injuries start to pile up. Teams have to find a way to win. Good example, Texans, right? Been without CJ Stroud, just finding ways to gut it out. Hasn't been pretty. Everyone's banged up. Everyone's hurt. Like even the Packers are going through their own thing, right? Now it's just about overcoming that late in the season and really making a playoff push.
Yeah, I think in terms of what we're expecting here for week 12 is, there's a couple of litmus tests, but then in some of these more layup matchups for a team like Baltimore or a team like Seattle or Detroit, are you able to do what a good team does and beat who's on your schedule, beat somebody that's an inferior opponent? And, look, we got several of those type of matchups this week. We also got some big time, prime time showdowns going on here. But let's get into the first one here. It's going to be Buffalo at the Texans, 5.5. Now, there's also a 6 out here on DK. Remember, all the odds here are just FanDuel for simplicity purposes, but as we always do, advise shop around because this is where you're going to be getting the best of the numbers and the prices. Brad, 5.5, 6 points at Houston. Is that too much for a Buffalo team that just they're very hot and cold? They'll stand up and get up to play for or against Kansas City. They'll come back and find a way against Tampa in the second half, but then they'll go on the road and they'll lose flat out to Miami as 10-point favorites. Like, what's your take on this Bills team?
This Bills team is wild because I think they were kind of ticked off about everybody in the media saying that their championship window is closed, if not closing, right? And it felt like against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though their defense is still very terrible, they were still really able to find that next gear and gut out a win. The Buccaneers were in the worst possible spot too, right? After the Bills just got embarrassed by the Dolphins, the last thing the Bills were going to do was lose back-to-back. I don't know, though. I don't know, from a betting perspective, I don't really want to trust the Texans, right? With Stroud or without Stroud. Defense is really elite. But for the Texans, their pathway to victory has to be play really good defense and then run the football really well. And it's one of the two things they can do, but running the football is definitely not one of them, at least not with high success. I lean the Bills here at the -7, but this is a primetime. I like primetime home dog short week. But, man, it's really sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if I'm going to have anything on this game. I think it makes more sense taking Houston with the 6 if you like them because that's out there on DK. The reason I like the Texans on the short week here is, and I'm not I'm not of the belief that the Bills are in like a letdown spot. Obviously,
Yeah.
the Miami game, that you could classify that as a letdown for sure. And Buffalo has definitely played down to their competition a lot this year. But Houston, bro, like one thing we do know is their defense is legit. They've pretty
Yep.
much proven that all year. It's not a fluke for them. So, for them realistically to keep Buffalo under 21 points on a short week, it's not an outrageous thought. And if you're Houston and you keep Buffalo under 21 points, I mean, you'd think against a defense in the Bills that's really not that good that you'd be able to score 2 touchdowns,
Yeah.
14 points. Look, I'll give credit where it's due. Davis Mills has been finding a way. Houston's got a couple playmakers. You got Nico, you got Woody Marks, who I'm really high on. The continuity this year, like I thought Woody Marks was going to be a huge fantasy asset. I know he's had a couple good games, but like week to week, he hasn't been there. I started him in one of my leagues last week, and he was like 4 points. It was a dud against Tennessee. Look, I know Stroud's coming back here pretty soon, but I think really it's Houston's defense that would ultimately have this be the reason why I take the Texans at home on the short week. I just think Buffalo, in theory, could play down to their competition on a short week on the road. And Houston's got a top-tier defense, right? So it's gross. It's a hold-your-nose kind of thing. But if I was looking at anything in terms of a side, I think I'd have to side with the Texans here.
Yeah, that's fair. What about props? Have you looked at the prop market yet?
Really haven't taken too much of a dive, but I mean, I don't know. Khalil Shakir just had a kid, plus 270 to score a touchdown. I'm big on people like when they have their kids or they have birthdays to score a touchdown. It's a handicap that's like just not true X's and O's. But it's like, it's his special day. The only asshole that doesn't allow his player to score a touchdown on his birthday is Mike McDonald. Doesn't allow Kenny Walker to get in. Put Jack Charbonnet on the goal line 15 times in a row. But I think Khalil Shakir 270. It's obviously the birthday or the kid thing is pretty cool. But Shakir, you can make a case as their number one receiver. If we're going a little further down the board, maybe Tyrell Shavers. He's been a sneaky play for Josh Allen as one of his primary targets. I mean, Dalton Kincaid's obviously not playing. It would probably have to be one of these ancillary guys for Buffalo, like a Shavers. I wouldn't be opposed to a Khalil Shakir at plus 270. I mean, if we're looking at somebody else, I think Nico Collins at plus 140 is a little big. If Houston's going to be playing from behind in some fashion, I don't think the Bills have the corners to check Nico 1v1.
Yeah.
I think that's possible. Josh Allen 3 rushing touchdowns against Tampa. Like what?
That was
insane.
Are we
doing? What are we doing? Every time I looked up, Josh Allen was fucking running in the end zone.
That was insane.
Imagine I was actually going to parlay. I swear to God, I was like, I didn't place it. I don't think we talked about it on our podcast, but I was just like scrolling through stuff. I'm like, what if I parlayed Baker to get in with Josh Allen? And then parlayed Josh Allen 3 touchdowns.
What were the prices,
Baker was like 370. Allen was probably like, I don't know, around even money, give or take. But that would have been a good one.
Dude, what's crazy? I was so pissed about I was just so pissed that we were playing them at that point. I was like, I'm not freaking betting that game outside of just the Abuka bet that I made. And I feel like there were so many good bets. Like remember I told you the Sean Tucker bet was just like could have been.
Yeah.
I didn't want to watch it, bro.
Legacy game, bro.
There was no way we were winning that game. So I was like, I don't want to sit here and freaking watch this damn game. We lose and just be pissed the whole time.
Like, dude, a Sean Tucker legacy game, like, bro, come on. Give me a break. It's insane. Ugh. Am I crazy? There's 2 guys I think they're interesting. Nick Chubb's 5-1 to score. I know, like, he's been losing carries left and right. It's only taking like a month later than I thought it should have. Like, I thought, Woody Mark should have had this backfield in early October or, second week of October or whatever.
Yeah.
But Nick Chubb, last week, 3 carries against Tennessee and basically a neutral game script. And then the week before against Jacksonville, where, that it's different because they were playing from behind most of the time. Yeah, they ended up coming back to win, but they had to score 26 points in the fourth quarter. But last week, he didn't really get much burn. I don't know if he left early, got hurt. But, Chubb definitely is not
frustrating. I took his over rushing.
And
he had 17. He had 17 like in the first half. I think he had 1 carry after that, or didn't have another carry after that. It was weird.
Still think it's interesting. Nick Chubb 5-1. I just feel like, look, man, I get it. I'm happy that Woody Marks it's his backfield now, and they're finally seeing like, hey, he's the more explosive back, and this is kind of what we were talking about early in the season, like first couple weeks. Remember, we had, I think it was week 2 or week 3, we had that Woody Marks Parker Washington touchdown parlay. It's like, hey, like these are the guys that are sneaky X factors that they should be getting more burn. Yeah. Now, Woody's getting that burn. I still think Nick Chubb in a goal line situation could be in play. Obviously that's most likely the only way I would see him getting in. Ty Johnson 6-1 is always a sneak play. I know he had a very long reception touchdown against Tampa, but he's interesting. There's a lot of different players that are up in the air here, but I still think Nico Collins is good at plus 140. But otherwise, I don't really love enough props.
I don't love any touchdown props in this one. I may take a little Josh Allen rushing yards, just primetime Josh Allen. But last primetime he burned everyone and didn't run the ball a ton. So
yeah, I hate taking quarterbacks running the ball, man. Allen could just choose to pull the ball down. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
What do you think? Woody Marks 63.5, maybe on the under? Well, it's actually interesting.
No, dude, you can't take an under.
I know, but it's actually funny because I was thinking about it. Right, this is Woody Marks. Right, are you ready for this?
Yeah, hit me.
Since what game is that? So he had 1 game against the Titans in week 4 where he got 17 carries. That was the only time in the first 6 games he played where he got double-digit carries, or first 5 games he got. And that was because it was a blowout. But since he started actually getting more carries, which was that game against Seattle, where he's gotten double-digit carries every week since then. First game, he got double-digit carries since becoming like the guy at Seattle, 10 for 15, right? Yeah. Then the next week against San Fran, 11 for 62. Then the following week, 10 for 27. Then the following week, 14 for 63. Then last week, 18 for 44. So do you know what's interesting about that? He'll be really efficient one game and then do nothing the next, right? So he started out at a 1.5 yards per clip. Then the next week was 5.6. The following week was 2.7. The next week was 4.5. The following week was 2.4 last week. So maybe the trend tells us he's going to be a little bit more efficient in this one, Brad.
Maybe
that's not a real handicap, by the way, but just
no, I
on all. This is really frustrating for me in fantasy. It's like starting Kamani Vidal. Like the weeks I start him, he does nothing, and then I sit him.
Vidal, bro.
It goes nuts. It's not a true handicap, but it's just fodder, whatever. But yeah, we always spend so much time on these TNF games. All right, let's go to the Indianapolis game at Kansas City. Bro, I don't understand why some of these like really good games are 1:00. I guess the NFL is like, hey, you know what? We need to have a 1 or 2 good games in this goddamn early window. But this is big, man. Colts at the Chiefs, 3.5, 3 and the hook. Indy off a bye. Kansas City can't buy a win right now. Does the NFL let Kansas City lose another one?
No, the Kansas City Chiefs win and cover this game. This is one of those games where you have to write your season at this point, right? They're 3rd in the AFC West. They're 5-5 right now. Like they're outside looking in. it doesn't matter who your opponent is. You're back at home. Like, you have to win this game. And I think they give it maximum effort because they can go on a little win streak. Like, if you look at their schedule, they win this game. They get to play the Cowboys, who I think they match up really well against the Cowboys. Then the Texans at home. I misread their schedule, actually. I forgot they had to play the Chargers, and the Chargers always give them a tough game. But then again, they play the Titans. If they whip off 3 out of the 4 games right there, they're back in the playoff picture. So I think they win and cover in this game.
I think okay, so this is where I have to. This is why, I was happy we're able to talk this out, because I think Kansas City wins.
Yeah,
I think they understand this is desperation mode. This isn't like, hey, yeah, we're gonna dick around for a little bit, but we still got the AFC West in the bag, and we're gonna get a top 1 or 2 seed for the playoffs. No. This is starting to get to territory. Hey, we're on the outside looking in. If the season ended today, we got to get on a little run. We got to get a little bit going here. We played 2 shit games back to back against Denver and against Buffalo, 2 bad games.
It's kitchen sink. I hate that phrase, but
it is. Sink. I mean, I don't think Kansas City comes out lethargic in this one, so I like them to win. They would be part of every piece for a parlay. But Brad, 3 and a hook on a team off a bye. I get it's on the road, but I mean, this Indy team matches up very well offensively against Kansas City's defense.
Yep.
Is Kansas City able to stop? If Indianapolis is able to do the things they've been doing this year on offense, like Jonathan Taylor gets 25 carries and just keeps ripping the way he's been, does Kansas City have the juice, the formula, the players to stop him? I know you got to deal with Chris Jones up the middle. And then Daniel Jones is playing super efficient football when that's been going on. So, is Casey able to stop that? Ultimately, I don't know if the Colts defense is going to be able to handle the Kansas City offense. I'm not saying it's a shootout. I don't think it's a shootout, but I could see something along the lines where Kansas City's able to put up, say, 24, 25 points in this one.
I agree. I think that also Spags is going to dial up some crazy shit just to make the picture hard for Daniel Dimes, right? He's the guy you have to get off. And I think if the Colts try to do what the Broncos did, where they kind of, we're just going to go to pass heavy early in the game, I don't think they're going to have the same success, because I not that I think Bo Nix is a better quarterback, but I think he, is smarter with the football than Daniel Dimes. So I think it could be one of those situations where Daniel Dimes makes some turnovers early in the game, and then they're fighting from behind, and that's exactly what the Chiefs want.
So that's how you're going to take Indy out of the game. Can you look up real quick what has Daniel Jones done against pressure this year? I can probably look it up.
Yeah. Dude, my computer keeps freezing. What the fuck?
Sick.
Yeah, here, give me 30 seconds. Daniel Jones. Why is this not alphabetical order?
Okay, here.
I have it right here. Verse pressure.
No, this just tells you who's getting the pressured.
I can pull up the pressure. I have it. All right, let's see. Verse pressure this season. Wow, he's taking 21 sacks so far. Is this the right season? Does it feel like he's taking 21 sacks? It's not the stats that I want, though. Here we go. Why don't they have... This is not right. Daniel Jones, passing, pressure. All right. Under pressure, Daniel Jones, 61% completion percentage, 6 touchdowns. Oh, my God. A pass grade of 50. He's thrown 5 turnover-worthy passes under pressure. Not thrown an interception yet, though, under pressure. Pressure to sack rate's not terrible. But what's actually kind of crazy is he's actually better when he's blitzed than under pressure, right? So like when he knows the blitz is coming, versus just a 4-man look and he gets pressured, he's much better. I think that's because they're making it easy. Let's see. Time to throw. Yep, he's getting the ball out quickly when he's under pressure. 2.61 versus, when he's blitzed, 2.61 versus 3.3 under pressure. He's holding the ball longer when he's getting pressured.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been bad. It's actually pretty funny. He's been good under pressure comparatively.
Okay. I honestly, I want to take Indy. I want to take Indy with the points. I think KC wins. And we're sitting here on Wednesday night. I want to take Indy with the 3.5.
Yeah.
But just sheer desperation mode. I'm earlier in the week taking Kansas City minus 3.5.
Yeah, I just think that home desperation for a championship team,
Yeah. I'm leaning on Kansas City with the points here. My opinion might change Sunday. Sometimes that happens with me, just early in the week. The only reason why is because I think Kansas City has more, aside from the desperation factor, the home factor, the quarterback factor, they have more ways to beat you than Indy. Indy has to play a specific formula. If Jonathan Taylor doesn't have a big game, if the Colts offensive line doesn't control the trenches and allows Taylor to do what he's been doing, then it's harder for them to win. Indianapolis is not a team that's going to drop back 40 times and Taylor is a dud and then beat you with Daniel Jones going into Arrowhead. This is not the kind of game you can do that. You can do that against, shitty teams, but not against Kansas City. So I think just by that, where Kansas City can beat you if they decide to pound the rock 35 times or they let Patrick Mahomes air you out 45 times, they'll find a way. So let's go Chiefs here. That one's a tough one. But the numbers are out. You got JT at 90.5. On Wednesday, would you be looking to take the over under on JT?
I would lean the over, but my problem is what the crap were the Broncos doing? Were they not running the ball because they think that Kansas City's run defense has improved since the beginning of the season, or they thought they could beat them through the air? I don't want to get in a scenario where I'm taking a massive over again and the team's not running the ball. But I do think JT goes over because I don't think Kansas City's run defense is good. It's as simple as that for me.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. Maybe look, if Jonathan Taylor gets 20 carries, I think he's getting over 90 yards.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a guy I am interested this week. It's Tyler Warren. I think Warren's going to have a nice game here.
Yeah, off of
Kansas City last year, bro, was a tight end funnel. They've tightened it up this year. Granted, they haven't played as many tight ends that are of the talent caliber as a Tyler Warren, but hey, I think this could ultimately end up being a decent matchup here for Tyler Warren. So I'd probably look at his overs 51.5. Might like that one there. All right, let's keep it going here. New England giving 7 at the Bengals. There's 7.5 out there. I think Burrow is one more week back. There's no Jamar Chase. Spitting on Jalen Ramsey is one thing, but then he lied about it. And now not only is he missing this week, that cost him over $500,000 for one spit.
Insane.
That's insane. Now New England's going to be going at Cincinnati. Sans Jamar Chase, it's T. Higgins, Andre Yoshivas, and company. Looks like we should have one more week of Joe Flacco. Is 7 points still too many here in this spot, Bradford?
Man, time and time again, we keep saying the Patriots are overvalued, but I just think they're a damn good football team, right? They're really well coached. Drake May is playing some really good football. They did not look great against the Jets, though. And I'll be honest, I thought they could have given more against the Jets. Maybe they kept it vanilla. Maybe the Jets were inspired, divisional game. Man. Is 7 too much? Yeah, I think 7's too much. I think this is one of those games where bettors are like, dude, there's no Jamar Chase, right? The Bengals are dead without Jamar Chase. But I think Joe Flacco can still distribute the ball, get the ball out to T. Higgins, right? Like, man, not gonna be able to get the run game. I don't know, man. I keep betting against the Patriots and I keep losing money. They even covered last week and looked like crap the entire game.
That's how you know it's so like, come on, Vegas doesn't know everything. And somehow the spread opens at 11.5, then it goes up and it closes at 12.5, and New England wins by 13. Like, come on, man. Like, we know what you're putting down there. We know what's going on. Look, man, I think New England, who's also 7.5 on DK. It's not that I'm doubting them. It's a lot of points for anybody. Because, yeah, Jamar Chase is obviously a huge difference maker, but Cincinnati still got some guys on offense that can move the ball.
Yeah.
I mean,
they do.
We see these things all the time where a team that is obviously better than another team is laying a big number on the road, and somehow that team does not cover that big number. I mean, we saw it last week. We saw Green Bay at the Giants with Jameis Winston starting. They still couldn't. I mean, Josh Jacobs got hurt, but still, they still couldn't cover 7.5. They ended up winning by 7.
They're so big. God.
And they didn't cover. I mean, we see it all the time. It's like, well, how is Cincinnati going to keep this one close? New England's defense, you're not going to be able to run the ball against them. You don't have Jamar Chase. They're probably going to look to double T. Higgins and make Andre Yoshivas beat you. Like, Joe Flacco's a statue if they get pressure. The Cincinnati defense is terrible. Yeah, like that's how it doesn't make any sense. Like, just by rosters right now, New England should be able to blow them out. But, look, I'm not going to be so quick on betting New England -7 in this spot here.
No.
I think it's a tad big. It's a tad big, in my opinion. I would lean Cincinnati. And again, it's Wednesday, Brad. Like, this is something that we can easily reevaluate throughout the week. And then Sunday morning on our kickoff show, we can be like, you know what? It came to me. I think New England is definitely the right side to be laying this number.
Yeah. I just feel, man, 7 is just so big.
It's a big number on the road against a team that can still score. This New England defense isn't, let's be real. This New England defense isn't like what we saw from the Patriots defense during the Super Bowl eras in the 2000s. It's a solid defense. They've done really well against the run for sure. But I'm not of the belief that this is like a truly lockdown defense. I think you can move the ball against them.
Yeah.
I just think their schedule has been extremely favorable. For the most part. Tampa Bay had a couple. I mean, Tampa Bay was playing with so many injuries, and Baker Mayfield still, threw for 253 scores against them. They had one truly good, healthy receiver in Ibuka. I mean, they've been playing really good football. I just think it's not that elite lockdown defense. And playing Cincinnati without Jamar Chase isn't really disproving anything, but I still think they're going to be able to probably put up a decent amount of points in order to keep this one close. That's just my Wednesday thoughts.
Yeah, it's just Wednesday, right?
Yeah, we got a few more days. All right, Steelers at the Bears. This is inside the key number of 3. Brad, a lot of us thought the Bears season was over when they lost week 1 Monday night.
Yeah.
They were 500 through about halfway through the season. Now here we are. Somehow we blinked and they're 7-3 and they're leading the NFC North. What is going on?
The Bears somehow keep freaking
they're 7
walking off.
They're
winning.
I'll be honest. I saw them beat the Vikings at the gun last week. I'm like, it's pretty impressive, bro. I literally like, yeah, it's his Bears 7-3. I'm like,
Ben freaking Johnson,
7-3. I know I was having a little Sunday fun day, but I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't drink that much. Did that say 7-3? It did. It said 7-3. I mean, dude, I don't know. It's 2 teams that are clearly not as good as what they've shown. I mean, Chicago, I'm not of a belief that Chicago is a good football team. I think they have good individual talent. I think Ben Johnson, it's a work in progress with this organization. The Steelers are not good. Like, I don't think they're a good team. what they showed in LA a couple weeks ago on Sunday Night Football is who I think they are. And now Aaron Rodgers, the question mark surrounding him, I'll be honest, the Bengals, the fucking Cincinnati Bengals bet straight Royal Mint spot last week. That made me look like such a liar because what happened? That game was close in the third quarter. Flacco on the Bengals drive and throws a pick six. That's it. Game was over for
Horrible, bro.
And Rodgers went down. He left the game. So that pisses me off. But I don't know, man. I really don't think the Steelers are that good.
I don't either.
I think I probably will go Chicago, playing better football, especially if Rodgers is sitting. I mean,
the Steelers might be out without Rodgers and without Jalen Warren.
Yeah, I like the Bears.
I like the Bears. I think I like the under as well, 245. I think the Steelers, who already run a bunch of 12, already play really slow, without Rodgers have to slow it down immensely, right? Like that's a really good number. I think you probably want a little bit higher, but I think 45 is still solid to take the under.
Well, 44.5, but yeah.
44.5, yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm in agreement. I think Chicago in and under is probably pretty good. We're inside the key number of 3. I mean, clearly we have some injury reporting to assess here, but even still with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I didn't like the Steelers team coming into the year. I don't like the Bears team right now as is, like in terms of overall landscape, but they do have the more individual talent. And, I think I have to lean with them. A little surprised that, Chicago's only 2.5.
It feels weird, right? Like, shouldn't it be higher? No Rodgers, right? No Warren.
If Rodgers, let me ask you a question. Like, is this 2.5 in the thought that Rodgers probably doesn't play? Because
right.
I would have thought that without Rodgers, it's easily 3.5. But if Rodgers gets announced, say Friday, Rodgers gets announced out and Mason Rudolph starts this game, like 2.5 probably becomes 3.5, right? Crosses the key number there.
Crosses the 3, 100%.
Yeah, that's why
this is like a protective line. We're like, oh, he might play. He might.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it matters if he plays.
I don't think it matters either way.
I don't think it's gonna matter, in my opinion.
It's weird. I wouldn't have thought like at the beginning of the season I'd be taking this line where I'm like, yeah, I think the Bears win and cover. I thought they, still had a lot of winning to go, which I still think they do, especially in the pass game. But they've been playing good. And they've been running the ball effectively.
My boy Kyle Monangai just ripping.
Yeah. What about Loveland? Probably Loveland has a solid game. Steelers are bad against tight ends, opposing tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Chicago's won 3 in a row, and they've won 7 of their last 8. Wow. So they got the Steelers this week. Probably come back down to earth next week because they go to Philly. That's not Thanksgiving. That is the day after. That's Black Friday. So they go to Philly next week for Black Friday. That'll be a pretty interesting game.
Yeah.
Then they go to Green Bay. Then they come home, play the Browns, and they come home to play the Packers. Then they go to the Niners, and they come home to play the Lions. I mean, look, they got a tough schedule, but realistically, I mean, they're in control of their own destiny. They're going to face the Packers twice and the Lions once remaining on this schedule here. So look out. Ultimately, I think the Lions are probably going to win the division like a lot of people do. And if you're looking to bet that, Detroit's plus money right now. You can get the Lions plus 140. Plus 140 Lions to win the NFC North. That's probably a pretty solid bet if I had to say, right?
Yeah.
They're 6-4. You got the Giants this week. You got Green Bay next week on Thanksgiving. That'll be a good one. Then you got Dallas. Then you go to the Rams. That'll be a good game. Steelers at the Vikings, revenge game, and at the Bears.
Man.
Right?
You said plus 140?
Plus 140. You're getting a plus money for the Lions to win the division.
That's a pretty good price.
Yeah, I think so. All right, let's keep it going here. Jets at the Ravens. Ravens 13.5. Brad, this is a lay the big spot. I know some people might be taking the Jets at 13.5, saying it's a big number. It is certainly a big number. Baltimore has not looked good. Baltimore really hasn't played a complete game since Lamar came back. I mean, maybe say the Miami game, which I was there for. But, I mean, make a case they probably shouldn't have won last week against Cleveland. That was not a sexy game.
Yeah.
13.5, though, coming home against a bad Jets team. The Ravens have a lot of work to do. Like, I don't think the Ravens are a Super Bowl contender as is at the moment.
No.
I think their defense still needs to be tightened up a lot. Their offense just hasn't been, and I'm not referencing any numbers. I'm just referencing eye tests from what I've seen.
Yep.
The Ravens offense really hasn't looked that efficient. Like, we could still say, yeah, they went on the road in Minnesota, and we referenced this on the podcast last week, on Sunday on the kickoff show. Like, yo, you went into Minnesota, their defense has been a disappointment this year, but they still have the pieces.
Yep.
They did not play a good game, Brad, but they still put up 27 points. But we haven't, that's just to show you, the Ravens can be really good. We know that. We've seen it. But they have, in my opinion, they haven't been efficient just from the eye test. It's like a lot of these stalled out drives. They're not able to just make these big plays and convert, settling for field goals. Their defense will give them a short field sometimes. And, Lamar's relying on him and himself, Derrick Henry, Zay, whoever else. But we haven't seen that really convincing Ravens win in a while, have we?
No, we haven't. And, I think it's the Ravens have just gone through so much lack of offensive continuity because Lamar being hurt, and then to pair with him being hurt, he comes back and then barely practices. They're just not getting the reps. And it's not necessarily saying that Lamar needs reps. It's not we need to give a ton of reps to Lamar. It's we need the reps for that rhythm. They haven't been able to get in a good offensive rhythm. And I think that's kind of what's been costing them the most. But they did play against a really good defense. This is a very different game where they're playing against the Jets, who are not good defensively. Also, the Jets' run defense is probably not going to be good in this game. So if they can get Derrick Henry going, they can just ride him the whole game. I lean the 13. We do have to remember they do have a matchup with the Bengals next week, so that could be a little look ahead, even though it's a division game. But that could be a little look ahead.
That's fair. That's a good point. And Joe Burrow should be back for that one.
Yep.
So that's a good point. Henry, it's weird because remember how we were talking about after week 2 or week 3, we weren't getting a lot of props until Thursday. I mean, we're not all there yet, but
yeah,
lately a lot more props have been coming out on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But Derrick Henry 87.5. Maybe the over there. This is a game where Henry gets a lot of carries.
Yeah.
Henry's minus 240 to score. What if we got freaky and we did hold on. Come on, where is he? I don't like that.
The Jets just showed us how easy it is going to be able to just pound the ball in against them with no Quinnen Williams, right? They showed the Patriots showed how easy it is to be to pound the ball against the Jets. No Jets, no Quinnen Williams.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even read it. No wonder why. I mean, I thought it would have been fair anyway. Tyrod's starting.
Yeah, he is.
Justin Fields isn't even starting this game.
No, benched, Tyrod. Bro. And they made a freaking graphic. Benched. I saw that. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. I think Baltimore's going to lay it down for the team one time. Look, man, I understand this could be a look ahead spot here to Cincinnati, but ultimately, the Ravens need one of those wins where they win 40-7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of those truly convincing wins where it seems insignificant. It's hey, yeah, you blew the shit out of the Jets. You blew out the Jets. Pause. But it's like a morale thing. You put up a 40 bean, Your defense played well. I think they need one of those. That's a mental thing. So I feel like we might be able to get that this week. I think I'm going to go Ravens here to. I'll put it to you this way. If I was in Circus Survivor contest this year, I think the Ravens minus 13.5 would be one of my entries. I think that'd be one of my plays. I like the Ravens a lot this week.
I like that.
Just out of curiosity.
Well, I want to see what Derrick Henry is.
Just out of curiosity, don't look. Do you know what the look ahead next week for the Ravens Bengals is?
Yeah, I already know. I already looked.
Oh, you scumbag.
What do you think it is?
7.5.
Oh, you already knew.
Yeah, I already knew. So I'm trying to test you.
I'm gonna think Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns.
I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested to see if that 7.5 is if they think Burrow's coming back. Like, is Burrow a 7.5 dog? Even first came back. Yeah, Henry's minus 240 to get in. That's a little nuts.
Yeah,
Not really, but I might go. Let's see, maybe Henry 3 tutties, 12-1. Maybe. Brad, another game we have here. It's 13.5. That's Seattle at Tennessee. That's the west to east travel. That plagued some teams. That plagued the Chargers last week. I don't know if they were just looking ahead to the bye, or they didn't get off the bus, or Jacksonville sent somebody to their hotel rooms individually to slip a Xanax into their nightcap, or what happened. That was insane. We'll get to that in a bit. But Seattle's shown that they can handle this. Like, this is one of those games where earlier in the year they traveled to Jacksonville, and I like the Seahawks to win the game and cover, which they did. Seattle traveling to Tennessee, man, it's 13.5 points. That's a lot. And look, Tennessee might get up for this one. Fine. No problem. Against the Chargers, maybe a punt return for a touchdown or a pick six or something like that. But Seattle right now, Seattle's coming off a tough loss. I don't think this is a look ahead for them. I don't think this is a spot where they're going to get lazy.
Yeah.
This is a spot where they can't afford to mess around. They just got to go get and take care of business here. Because look, I think they also realize that the Rams, while they're currently ahead in the standings right now for the NFC West, they have a really tough game on Sunday night against Tampa, which we will cover later on here. But this is an opportunity for Seattle to be right back in the mix.
Yep, right back in the mix. And you know what's really tough is this is going to be a weird game for player props, because all of the player props are all pointing to Sammy D having a massive game. But I also think that the Seahawks can score a crap ton of points in this game. And if that happens, I don't think the Texans are keeping up. Excuse me. My bad. I don't think the Texans are keeping up. So it's do we take 243 over and then be get screwed because he's not playing in the fourth quarter? I might just take the Seahawks team total. I wonder what their team total is. Let's see. Might have talked myself.
I've gotten hosed on the JSN catchovers several times this year because they're just blowing teams out, and then he doesn't get the ball in the fourth or the second half or the fourth quarter. So that's definitely something that I've come across. Let's see, hold on. Team props. Team props. Seattle is 26.5.
I think I just take their first half team total instead. I think it should be 12.5 or something.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, they put up a graphic on Monday night a couple weeks ago. There's no team that's scoring like Seattle in the first half. I think Seattle scored 30 points in the first half in 4 of their games this year. They're going absolutely nuts. And I think this could be one of those days. Look, I'm always going to take the JSN catchovers.
Yeah.
I do realize it's dangerous with the way they've been playing, but in all fairness, this could be another one of those situations where Seattle's up so big through 2.5 quarters that, hey, we're just going to start running the ball, killing the clock, and pulling our guys out of the game. But Look, in terms of the side, I think Seattle 13.5 is the right side here. But I do agree, team total's better, and first half team total could also be the move as well.
Man, it's the number one first half scoring team off a loss against a really, I don't want to say horrible, but not great pass defense. I think if the Titans pass defense was good, I wouldn't be as gun ho. I'm gonna take it. I'm trying to see what the best line is. I think 13.5 is fair, but there might be a 12.5 around there.
I like the 12.5. Let me know if you find it. Yeah, I think that's a good play. I think that's a solid look.
Dang. Well, let me just do Control F.
JSN 93.5. His catch total 7.5. Damn, dude, they're trying to juice him to the under. I think they know.
Yeah, bro.
Might do like first
Not
quarter.
a lot of books have team totals out yet. First half. Okay.
They don't have his first quarter props. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I like Seattle. I think they're going to keep rolling. They're going to get back on track and keep doing what they do in the first half. Like Sam Darnold threw 4 picks last week, and they still had a chance to win. I mean, I think Darnold knows he's got to play better. It's a rebound game for him, so I'm going to go with Seattle here. I like them to get right.
Yeah.
All right, how about another team to get right here, Brad? It's the Detroit Lions. The Lions. Weird loss. I mean, their defense played fine. Jared Goff and those tiny hands and the cold weather. It's his biggest kryptonite. The Lions lose a key NFC tilt, but they come home to play the Giants. Does that trend live on? That trend that's one of the best betting trends in the NFL. Off a loss under Dan Campbell, the Lions are like 13-0-1 against the spread. Does that live?
Bet every single penny you have on the Lions -10, dude. At home against the Giants. We're Wednesday. Jackson Dart hasn't fully practiced yet. I'd imagine he may be in, but I'm not like too overly concerned.
I feel like you're watching an NBA bet right now.
Why?
I felt like you were about to say something else.
No, I'm saying if he plays, I'm like not overly concerned if he plays. I still think the -10 at home against this team is really good. Look, I'll break it down a little further. So the Detroit Lions, they've gone through some injuries, but one thing that's been like really consistent with them is their run defense is pretty good. Even against the Eagles, they were really stout against the run. So now you think Tyrone Tracy and freaking Devin Singletary aren't going to gash up like they did last week, aren't going to gash up the Detroit Lions. Then when they have to drop back, the Lions pass pro is not phenomenal, but the pass rush for the Lions, I mean, the Giants pass pro is not phenomenal, but the Lions pass rush is really good. I think that puts the Lions in a lot more short fields. Now they're playing at home, playing indoors. Perfect elements for Jared Goff. Perfect for me.
Is this crazy? If you parlay Jahmyr Gibbs 2 tutties, Jahmyr Gibbs 100 rush yards, Lions -10.5, Goff 3 passing touchdowns. What do you think the odds on that should be?
Dude, you said that all so fast.
Okay. All right. If you parlay these 4 things, Lions -10.5, Jahmyr Gibbs 2 touchdowns, Jahmyr Gibbs 100 rush yards, Jared Goff 3 pass touchdowns. What do you think those odds should be?
Plus 25-1.
Okay, you're close. 22.
What are they?
22. Like here's why I'm building that up. Aside from the fact that I think this is a huge prop game, I think the Lions are covering. I think this is a huge bounce back, especially at home here, back in the comforts of home, cooking, warm weather, the dome. But I have a thing where, hey, is this like that game they played against the Commanders, where they dropped to 40 being a couple weeks ago? Remember that? Where a couple weeks ago they went absolutely nuclear at Washington, and they ate. Everybody ate, and they put up 40 plus.
I remember that.
Is this one of those games against the Giants where they just go nuts?
Could be. I think it's a great bounce back spot. Like, you couldn't really ask for much of a better bounce back spot there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, numbers wise, is this one of those games where, hey, you know what, we're gonna, everybody's gonna eat in this one. Everybody's gonna eat in this one. We're gonna make sure. Like, this might be one of those games where it's, and I understand no two games are alike, but it's hard not to get excited about this kind of being an all Lions parlay.
Yeah.
Like a Commanders 2.0 spot for them where they go nuts. Gibbs has a monster day. Goff has a big day. The Lions cover with ease. They put up a 40 bean, like that whole thing. And the best part is, like, the Giants have an awful run defense. The Giants have one of the worst run defenses in football this year. Like, it's hard not to get giddy. I might have an all Lions parlay designated for this game and just be locked in on Detroit to have a biggie, a fucking biggie. Brad, I think we need to hit this one big today. Maybe 5 G's on a Lions parlay.
Dude, this is like the game for it, right?
This is the game for it. A monster. I think I'm setting up for a monster. Okay, so we're gonna circle this.
Okay.
We're gonna circle this for Sunday, and we're gonna put something fat in for the Detroit Lions on a major bounce back spot. We could get sneaky through a little Jackson. If Jackson Dart plays, a little Jackson Dart anytime tutty. And that, if we want to get real gross. Just saying. We'll stay in the NFC North here. The Vikings at the Packers. 6.5 points. Brad, this number seems a little bit big, doesn't it? Interdivision.
Yeah.
6.5 points.
I'm really confused about the Packers, man, because they haven't played a complete game of football in like months, right? And I keep waiting for it. Now Josh Jacobs on the mend. Will E-Man be as good? Will he be able to fill the void? Man, 6.5 feels like a lot. But also, JJ McCarthy hasn't been good either. How's JJ McCarthy been under pressure? Like, that's what we really need to ask.
Under pressure, how has he been in general? Motherfucker can't even get
out
of bed.
He's been bad, but I want to see if it's much worse.
Can't even get out of bed without making a turnover happen. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, while you find that, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to stay in this game
under pressure.
I don't think they're going to stay in this game because of JJ McCarthy. I think it's going to be because the Vikings defense plays well.
Yeah, of course.
Green Bay is Green Bay, man. They just we talk about this every week. Once you lose Tucker Kraft, I mean that's catastrophic because they didn't bother going out in the trade deadline and going to grab somebody. Like, their number one receiver right now is Christian Watson. That's a horrifying thing. And you have Josh Jacobs, who is realistically not going to play this weekend. Your defense is okay in the secondary. Your pass rush is pretty good. Micah Parsons is having a pretty strong year. But I don't know, man. I mean, divisional game getting this many points, it's a lot. Like, Green Bay isn't – even at home, Green Bay's not 6.5 points better than Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at taking the Vikings in this spot. I just think that's too many points. I'm not throwing it in my short list of best bets of the week, but I definitely think Vikings at 6.5 is a little big here. I mean, here's the thing, right? JJ McCarthy, and this is why it's so frustrating to watch him, is because he'll have like 2 or 3 quarters where he looks unbelievable. Like what he did against the Lions, he looked. I mean, the defense looked great, and but McCarthy was basically surgical against the Lions. And then last week against the Bears, he looked like shit. He looked like he never stepped on a football field in his life. He's airmailing passes to Jettas, or he's throwing 6-4-3 dirt balls like a shortstop, like he's turning 2. I mean, it's frustrating, but again, I still don't think 6.5 is fair here for Green Bay. I don't. I think it's too many points, and I think this defense that they have in Minnesota, it's gonna be a good matchup against Green Bay. Like the Green Bay hasn't looked good. When was the last time Green Bay really looked good?
Green Bay doesn't look good. Oh, freaking man. I'm trying to think of like when I've been confident in Green Bay this season, or I've been impressed by them. I'm going to the game by game.
I'll tell you. The last game Green Bay looked good in, looked complete. They looked good. Was week 2 against Washington.
I just tried to click it open. Sometimes the computer's stupid.
They looked good in 2 games all year. That was weeks 1 and 2. Against the Browns, they looked like shit. Against Dallas, they looked like they were about to blow them out. They let them hang around. They ended up tying a game that they should have won with ease. Against the Bengals, they let them hang around. Against the Cardinals, they relied on a big comeback. They could have easily lost that game. Against the Steelers, I mean, they had a win in prime time against the Steelers, who I don't really think are that good, but they still let up 25 points. They lost outright to the Panthers at home, 14-point favorites. They lost to the Eagles at home. They put up 7 fucking points. And then they went on the road to the Giants and they beat them by 7.
See, like in the Giants game, it's like this is why like sometimes I like don't love PFF. They got a good grade. They got a good grade for passing. They got a 93.7 passing. Pass blocking was bad. Their run defense was horrible. Their tackling was horrible. But that 93.7 made it much better, right? You know?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think the Vikings are going to cover. I don't know if they're going to win. I think the Vikings stay inside of 6.5 here. Give me the Vikings.
Okay.
Brad, do you have anything here on this Browns-Raiders game? Shedeur Sanders looks like he's going to get his first NFL start.
I do. I don't like it, but I'm taking Shedeur over 160.5 passing yards. I'm going to ladder him, but like I'm going to just check again right now. I keep spelling these freaking players' names wrong. I'm going to ladder him, but like money is coming in on his under.
You know what it is? I think there's going to be a lot of people that are like, oh, Shedeur's first start. He's going to go crazy. He's going to go. Dallas just destroyed them last week. You know, we want to watch him play. We want to watch him do well. Let's hammer his over. Like, I could see something like that. But, I mean, it's kind of crazy. He's getting his first start.
Here it is. All right. It finally loaded up. All right. Okay, so now money's coming back in on the over. It got crushed down to 55, moved back up. Now it's up. Oh my God. There's some shops that have it at 62. Let's see what the alt lines look like. I think like 180 is like a good starting point. So
I am at 58.5 right now.
where is alt passing? Alt passing. All right, here we go. So for him to throw 200 plus yards plus 260.
It's interesting. I don't really have a feel on this game, to be honest.
158. I can get 158 right now.
Wouldn't it be so funny if Ashton Genty got like 30 carries this game? Chip Kelly needs to be fired. Dude, there's some insider trading going on. I'm convinced Chip Kelly took every under of Ashton Genty's. I'm convinced. There's just no way that a game script that was neutral in the first half dictates that little amount of running. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't really have a feel in this game. I don't even want to bother picking a side. I guess if I had to take anything, I'd probably take Cleveland because Vegas right now, there's no way they should be more than a field goal favorite against anybody.
Yeah.
Let alone Myles Garrett, who's putting together another strong case for Defensive Player of the Year. So, yeah.
All right, I'm about to bet this right now.
Betting it on Wednesday. That's what real bettors do. Get it in the middle of the week.
Dude, I already know I have to bet the freaking what was that team we were talking? The Colts first half team total, but like not everyone offers first half team totals on Wednesdays.
No, that was Seattle.
Seattle, what did I say? Colts? I meant Seattle. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, let's keep it going here. Jacksonville Jaguars are 2.5-point favorites at Arizona. Brad, I think this is the letdown spot of this century. Jacksonville. Look, I was dead wrong. I thought the Chargers were going to win and cover on the road. I mean, is that just a game which is like an outlier where they just don't show up? They weren't prepared. They were looking forward to the bye week, maybe going to grab a quick trip to Cancun. Like, I don't know what they were doing, but there's no way Jacksonville is on any phase that good. That they're holding the Chargers out of the end zone. Am I bugging or like
I cannot believe that happened.
They put up 35 points and they only allowed
Dude.
6. There's just no come on. There's no way. Come on, there's no way that happens. But I mean, look, I think they're set up for a letdown spot here. I don't see that happening again. Now they have to travel east to west. Arizona is a home 2.5-point dog. I think I like Arizona in this one. I think this is a huge letdown spot for Jacksonville.
Yeah, I just feel like I was just so wrong about the Jags. I didn't even bet the spread, remember? I just bet oh my god, drawing a blank. Justin Herbert touchdowns. They didn't freaking score a single touchdown.
That was a fucking weird. Yeah. I mean, I don't really understand it, but Jacoby Brissett, at least for my fantasy team, has been lights out. I feel like the Jags regression hits here. I'm not a huge believer in what they're doing this year. I didn't really see them as this formidable opponent coming into the year. I mean, Arizona's run defense is like middle of the road this year. Jacksonville, that's really been their success. Arizona's been pretty strong against receivers or running backs out of the backfield. I mean, you could get them in the secondary, but to be honest, I don't love Jacksonville. I think I'd probably lean Arizona to win outright in this one in an upset spot.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is a 4:00 game, but Atlanta at New Orleans. Gross. Michael Penix is out for the year. Unfortunately, it should be Kirk Cousins. Drake London's status very much in doubt after suffering an injury this past week. So, I mean, if Atlanta doesn't have Drake London, they're really in trouble. I mean, would you be riding with New Orleans? Do you have any plays in this one otherwise?
Dude, Michael Penix being out's hard. I'm gonna say this, and I know it's gonna freaking be horrible, but I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. It's already moved. It's already minus 172. I'm gonna take Darnell Mooney over 3.5 receptions.
Yeah.
That quote about him getting a lot of targets soon, I just feel like that's accurate, you know. Who else is gonna catch the ball? Him and Pitts? And yeah, it moved already to 176. Bijan. I don't want to take minus 150. I don't want to take 4.5. So this just feels like a crap game, right? Like, what do you like?
Nothing,
right?
This is probably a thing where I'd come back on Sunday. I take Kirk Cousins unders every which way. Yeah, I think I like New Orleans in the spot. is a gross game. I probably need a few more days to kind of reevaluate the
Yeah.
sides. What about in Dallas, Philly? 3.5. Brad, I think I like Dallas here. I think Philadelphia, they have not been playing well. Yeah, they've been getting some wins, but Dallas at least looks good in some fashion. I mean, I think their offense is going to be able to score in this one.
I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles. I just feel like I'm not ready to crown Dallas as back yet for playing well against the Raiders. Their defense did get a lot back, which is really nice. But I still think the Eagles handle business against them. No, actually, I lean Dallas. Actually, I think like I was gonna say that. Oh God, man, this is a tough one. All right, so let's just talk this game. I'm gonna go over like some numbers first, right? The Philadelphia Eagles, number one in QB completion percentage allowed per game, right? They're the best at that, right? And then you go down to look at EPA per play numbers. They don't allow a ton of running yards. EPA per pass, they allow the fifth least in EPA per pass. Then we go to defensive success rate. I don't know this number off the top of my head, and I think that they're like, I want to say 10th, between 10th or 13th. So they're not allowing a ton of explosives on EPAs. They're not allowing a ton of success and defense. They're not allowing quarterbacks to complete a lot of passes. So what are we going to do, right? What is the pathway for success for the Dallas Cowboys? Running the ball with Devontae Williams. Well, I actually think this was a number we should pull up. EPA per rush in the NFL. Net zero, which is the Dallas Cowboys, 13th in the NFL. Not really bad, not really great for a team who runs the ball a lot. Against the Eagles I think the Eagles are also 13th in EPA per rush on defense. Dallas pathway as a victory is just gonna have to carve them up on the outsides, right? I think Dak is one of those quarterbacks who has shown times that he's been able to get the job done. They're 6th in EPA per pass on offense, are the Cowboys, and George Pickens looks like the real deal, right? Like, and it's not like that we doubted George Pickens at any point, but when George Pickens early in the season was not the man, not the wide receiver one, I think it took a little to get adjusted. Then he became the man when CD went down. CD comes back. He's like, listen, I know how to play with CD. We got our groove together. We're getting a fair share of the ball. Am I gross enough to take the +3? I feel like the +3 is just not enough for me because I think even if the Eagles win this game, they can win by 3. Maybe I'd consider this an Eagles or pass. Eagles or pass probably for me. I think that's what I have to do. Not a big fan of that, but I'll go to player props. Let's go to player props for this game. The Dallas Cowboys. Let's see what Javonte Williams rushing yards are. 67.5. 67.5 for Javonte Williams, I think, is a really high number. The Eagles so far this season have only allowed 1,152 rush yards, which is like towards the bottom. I think they're like 6th or 7th fewest so far this season. My only problem with that, though, is Javonte Williams is going to get 15 carries. We'll see what his rush attempts are. Oh, my God. The number 16.5. I feel like you have to take Javonte Williams under 16.5. Like, can we get a better line for that for rushing attempts? Javonte Williams, so far this season, he had 22, obviously, against the Raiders, but like, I could probably count on like one hand when he's had more than 16. 1, 2, 3, 4 times this season. He's had more than 17 rush attempts. That was against the Packers, against the Giants, against the Commanders, and last week. Yeah, dude. Watch. I'm about to bet this right now if we get a good line. I'm looking it up to see what the best shopped price is. Rushing attempts, 135. Where's 125? All right. I'll bet that right now. That number just feels actually absolutely insane. Javonte Williams under 16.5 rushing attempts. The only way he goes over is if it's a back and forth game, or he's having a ton of success, right? I think against the Chiefs, you're going to want to Chiefs, the Eagles, you're going to want to run the ball more. All right, I'm posting this in my Discord real quick. I'm going to put this one in. Javonte Williams under 16.5 rush attempts. Minus 125. MGM. It's on MGM for anybody wondering. All right, let's look at other player props. Saquon Barkley's 16.5. Let's look at receiving props. I feel like they don't know what to set George Pickens at. George Pickens has been a guy who has just absolutely feasted, but his number has been like, first it was like 55, 50 when CeeDee Lamb got back. Then it moved up to 60. He hasn't gone under his number, I think, since week
4 straight games.
Yeah,
5 straight games.
Since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since week, I can't know what week this is. Week 5, week 6, yeah. While you were away, I gave out
Javonte
under rushing attempts, 16.5.
Yeah.
That number is
I think I like it. I mean, you're not going to be able to run the ball against the Eagles in theory as well as you are against the Raiders. I mean, yeah, look, man, I think it's going to be a big day for CeeDee, big day for Pickens. It's kind of crazy. Like, Pickens is really just taking off in this offense.
It's nuts.
I mean, you get a quarterback like Prescott. You got another wide receiver like Lamb who got to take so much attention away. I think both can eat, man. I think both can eat in this spot here. I think A.J. Brown scores in this one.
Okay.
I think Lamb finds the end zone. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I like Dallas because, like I said, Philly has not played a really good complete game in a while. And interdivision dog at home catching 3 and a hook. It's a big number. Like, you don't think Dallas had this game circled on their calendar all year for when they get to play, obviously opening night, but they get to play the defending world champions in their own building.
And get back from week 1. Get the lick back.
I mean, look, I don't know if Dallas wins this game, but I think they cover. I think they cover inside the number. 3 and a hook. That's a big spread here. And look, you're paying the juice with that, man. You're paying the vig at minus 122. But I still think it's fair. I think Dallas is it's a buy now spot. It's a buy now spot before that gets to a flat 3.
Yeah.
But I think Dallas is going to be live in this one. I know it's short week coming home, but this is a tough spot for me to want to take the Eagles. Like, let's look real quick. When was the last time the Eagles actually played a good game? I know they've got some good wins against Detroit and Green Bay. Like, against a good team. If you want to call the Vikings a good team, they beat them 28-22. The Rams game, they got lucky. Tampa's been playing so banged up this year. And honestly, they only won that game because of Baker. Bad pick in the end zone late. Look, man, Philly's a good team, but this is not a matchup to take lightly. So yeah. I'm probably going to roll with Dallas here, at least on the 3.5. I think the Cowboys are going to be up for this game for sure. All right, Sunday Night Football, Brad, huge game. Tampa at the Rams, 6.5 points. Come on, buddy. Are we going to get that Bucks get back this week?
Dude, man, the Bucks are desperately hanging on, but don't look now, man. The Carolina Panthers are coming to tie it, right? This is like such a brutal stretch for them. It's really brutal. No, man. I don't think the Bucks win or cover. I thought the Bucks put up a really big effort, and that's just such a huge effort. Now you got to go. You went from Buffalo. Now you got to go and play in LA, like on prime time. I think the Rams blow them out. Our secondary, the Bucks secondary, has been horrible.
Yeah. It's no wonder, right, that Tampa was a 6.5 spot at Buffalo last week. And let's be honest though. The final score was a 12 points, but Tampa was up in that game, dude. Tampa was up 26-24 with 5 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I mean, they were up in the fourth quarter at one point. Then they gave up a rushing touchdown to Josh Allen, and then they gave up another one to Josh Allen. Their defense couldn't stop them. And listen, I think Tampa can win this game outright, not just cover. But here's the thing. We're at a point where we're just relying too much on Baker Mayfield. The defense has not played well in recent weeks. And they're looking to Baker for everything. Nobody else is really contributing. And when I say that, I mean these other guys that are hurt, you're asking ancillary players. Like Sean Tucker had a big game, fine, but Sean Tucker is not the answer. Like Sean Tucker is not Bucky Irving. Like Tez Johnson's solid, but he's not Chris Godwin. There's no replacement of Mike Evans. The injuries are starting to really mount up, and every single thing's got to rely on Baker's shoulders. And if this defense is not going to perform even serviceably, how is that going to work?
Yeah.
Against New England, they should have won that game. Their defense gives up a fourth, literally the last play before half, gives up a touchdown to Stephon Diggs on a fourth down. That turned the whole game. They gave up 2 50-plus yard rushing touchdowns to Travion Henderson. They gave up a 72-yard receiving touchdown to Kyle Williams. They gave up a 50-plus yard pass play to Mac Hollins. And that was against New England. I mean, come on. And then Buffalo, they give up 44 points.
Painful, man.
So we're getting to a point here where it's very difficult. And I get it. The weather didn't really favor Tampa's style of play last week, like the wind gusts. Buffalo's definitely a team with Josh Allen that's more capable of keeping the ball on the ground. Now you're going in prime time in the Dome to LA. I think it could be a good matchup. I just think we're getting to a point where there's just too much that has to fall on Baker's shoulders. Like fully healthy, I think Tampa wins this game outright.
Yeah. That's just a lot you're asking for, right?
Travel east to west. Look, I want Tampa to win, and I think if Tampa loses, that takes any chance of Baker Mayfield MVP off the table. Like his MVP bid is on life support right now.
Yeah.
Like legit life support. I'm going to go with the Rams. And maybe I reverse jinx it and Tampa wins and covers in this spot, but I just think I think the Rams are playing good football. I don't think the Rams are that good. I think they're good, but I don't think they're that good. I think it relies, and we talked about this preseason. When their stars, who are some of the best players at their respective positions, are playing at a high level, then hey, yeah, they can beat anybody. And if their ancillary guys just give them anything productive, like they're good. And that's what's been happening. I mean, if you look at it with the Rams, Puka's had a great year. Stafford's been MVP level. Kyron's had a great year. Devontae Adams, when he's been healthy, he's been playing really good. Jared Verse is playing great. So as long as those guys keep playing great, that's when the Rams are a team that can really excel. But if some of those guys start having down games, and do they have enough elsewhere to lift them up? We haven't really had to answer that question yet because all their guys have been playing well. I think I'm going to go with the Rams here to win and cover this game, 6.5. I could understand why you'd think that. And I don't know at this point if Tampa's going to be able to make the adjustments.
I'm so sick of it, man. It drives me nuts, man. It just like unlucky. They're playing such good football, then everyone just decides to get hurt, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but, they're in a rough stretch right now where, like, they realistically could lose 4 of their last 5 by the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
But the good news is they have a very winnable schedule. Let's see prop. Ooh, we got some juicy props, bub. Puka over 7.5 catches.
Why don't you do Puka's longest reception?
Can't parlay those. 25.5 Puka.
Good. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you can. Puka, 8 catches over 25.5. Abuka over 66.5. Abuka's getting in this one.
Yeah, man, he had a quiet night. They weren't able to really stretch the field, right? Like, not like we wanted to.
Devontae Adams minus 145 to get in. That's nuts. This is another one of those games, you like the Lions, you can just do a parlay for one game.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like it. Definitely a lot to like in this game. All right, nightcap time. Panthers at the Niners, 7 points. East to west travel, another long spot on a Monday night. Brad, I like the Panthers getting the 7 here. I know they've not played particularly well on the road in certain spots. We had that weird game at Green Bay, and then last week Atlanta, everybody just got hurt. I mean, Atlanta was blowing them out. We're not blowing them out, but Atlanta was up convincingly. That looked like that shouldn't even have been a game, and then everybody gets hurt for them. And then boom, here comes Carolina. Bryce Young, what a legacy day, 453 tutties. Like, I feel like we're playing Madden. What world are we living in?
Yeah.
But I like Carolina getting 7 here. I think the Niners win the game slightly. I think Carolina makes this one appealing, makes this one interesting. I feel like we're going to be in for a nice Tet McMillan game. Again.
Dude, Tet freaking come out party last game. I feel like the Panthers are quietly like a good team, right? Above 500, winning games, good run game. I'm drawing Bryce Young's looking better and better each week. I might take this. Last time I freaking trusted the Panthers though, right? Like I took them in a teaser and they didn't even cover the 13. They got blown out. Can't remember who they're playing, but whatever. But I think better for the Panthers. I think McCaffrey has a really big game, like a monster game.
He's minus 350 to score a touchdown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he has a monster game. I wonder what his rush yards are. What is rush yards? It's probably like 68. No, we'll do 72. I think it's 72. All right, let's see.
69.5.
So I was right on the 68. Yeah, they're pretty defensive with his rushing yards because he can literally impact a game by just more than running the ball and still have a massive monster game.
Receiving. Any shot that the Panthers win this game?
West Coast trip? Nah.
It's tough, for sure.
Close, though.
I mean, look, I get it, dude. They're definitely susceptible on the road here.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, seen stranger things on a Monday night game, but I think I like them with the 7. Interesting spot. We'll be on the lookout for some Tet McMillan props when they surface.
Yeah.
But Brad, before we get out of here, anything you want to add?
No, man, it's a good week.
Some good
NFL was pretty solid last week. Everyone, make sure you just check out the show. I feel like that's the most important thing, right? Check us out on Sunday morning. So
Sunday morning, we're going to keep cooking. We're going to have all the plays on deck officially locked in. Appreciate you guys so much for staying up with us this Wednesday evening. We will see you on Sunday morning for the Breaking Bet Week 12 kickoff show with Brad Thomas and yours truly, JohnnyVTV. Might even have my boy Benny Benjamins come in for a little guest appearance. See if he wants to come on the show here Sunday for some of those delicious winners that we have prior to our Thanksgiving show. But everybody, really appreciate it. We'll see you on Sunday.